Good morning, Lake. Welcome to Lunch Bites. I'm Pastor Rich, lead pastor here at Lake Missionary Church, and we're glad you joined us today. I just want to start today off with a quote from Dietrich Bonhoeffer. He is a great apologist of the 20th century. He was a spy. He was against the Third Reich, against Hitler, and working in that time frame. He was also put to death just before the end of World War II by Hitler. But he had a lot of experience in the realm of the church, and a lot of experiences maybe that weren't really great experiences. So I want to read this quote to you. Dietrich Bonhoeffer said this: "In New York, they preach about virtually everything. Only one thing is not addressed, or is addressed so rarely that I have yet been able to hear it, namely the gospel of Jesus Christ, the cross, sin and forgiveness, death and life." That quote struck me in the light of today's church in America. This is from 1930, 1931, and here we are almost 100 years later. We are 90 years later. And I think that quote would be just as true today as it was 90 years ago. We in the church, we preach a lot. We preach a lot of different things. But the problem is, a lot of times we don't preach the gospel. We don't preach about these things that he mentions here, about the cross and sin and forgiveness, life and death. We have to be on our guard about that. We have to be thinking about that. We've become so ingrained in trying to focus on topics or culture or different things like that, that we miss the big picture. Now, within all of that, there is the gospel. What we see going on in our world, within that, there is the gospel of Jesus Christ. But sometimes we miss it. We don't take time to step back and to really marinate in that gospel. And I think it's a reason why, as a culture, we've become angry and bitter and very conflict-oriented. We'd much rather fight than agree. So I would encourage you today with preaching nothing but Christ and Him crucified. Paul says this in 1 Corinthians 2:2. "For I have resolved to know nothing while I was with you except Christ and Him crucified." The key to the gospel is Christ and Him crucified. Because what that did when He was crucified and rose from the dead, He defeated death, the death that we deserve. You and I deserve death. There's nothing we can do to change that. Jesus did that work. Jesus did the work so that we can have eternity with the Father. In today's world, when you start to get really run down, beat down, angry, you can't figure out what's going on and where are we going and what's happening, remember this: simply Christ and Him crucified. So when you struggle with life, simply remember Christ and Him crucified. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining us. Just a reminder, this evening at 6 o'clock, we'll have another premiere that will be a Bible study. Tonight we're going to look at the question about whether God and us can have a relationship when we continue to sin. So join us for that, and we look forward to being with you soon. Again, this Sunday we're kind of back open, full open. We'll have children's ministry going. Just invite you to that. So come out, join us, be a part of it. If you choose not to, you're not ready to be in a crowd, you're not ready to be around a lot of people, we get that. We encourage you in that. We just want to continue to let you know we love you and we support you in that decision. We will still have Facebook Live. You'll still be able to pick it up on the internet and be a part of the service with us. So we thank you again for being here today. So we look forward to being with you soon. Have a great day.